the crossroads between cultural appreciation and appropriation. That is culturally inappropriate. Around the world, outcries like this can be heard loud and clear, yet some stand against these cries and say that it's appreciation of the culture. What is cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation? Well, here's the gist of it. Cultural appropriation. According to the Oxford reference, cultural appropriation refers to a term used to describe the taking over of a creative or artistic forms, themes, or practices by one cultural group from another. It is in general used to describe Western appropriation of non-Western or non-white forms, and carries connotations of exploitation and dominance. Cultural appropriation, often viewed negatively, stems from ignorance or neglect. Cultural appropriation can lead to insensitive use of other culture. It could be perceived as a mockery of their culture and their heritage. There's also power dynamics, which play a big role here. Often, it's the more dominant culture that end up borrowing from the less privileged ones. When it comes to cultural appropriation, it's like borrowing someone's favorite book without even bothering to read the blurb on the back cover. You miss out on the heart of the story, the context, the emotion, and the hidden layers. Respect for cultural context matters. It's what gives depth and meaning to those borrowed elements. Cultural appreciation. Cultural appreciation, as defined by the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Cultural appreciation can be described as a way of honoring another culture through exploration, seeking an understanding as a way to honor that culture, beliefs, and traditions. It's akin to a chef passionate about Italian cuisine. They study in Italy, respect regional nuances, and open a restaurant to share the authentic cuisine, honoring their traditions. Now let's delve deeper into cultural appreciation. It's the act of recognizing and valuing the richness of different cultures. It involves earnestly seeking to learn about or explore a different culture, listening to its beliefs and traditions, and honoring them. We respect their perspectives, recognizing that our worldview is just one thread in the global tapestry. Cultural appreciation involves honoring the beliefs and traditions of a culture, recognizing their value and significance. Whether it's celebrating Diwali or participating in a Japanese tea ceremony, we do so with respect. Appreciating someone's culture is not about personal gain. It's not for fame, money, or social media likes. We honor the culture and its people without exploiting or appropriating elements for our benefit. Why should we care? A 2019 study by the Pew Research Center found that a majority of Americans believe it's important to preserve the cultural traditions of different ethnic groups, with people who are more educated proving to be more likely to support the cause. And more than 6 in 10 Americans say that the fact that the US population is made up of people of many different races and ethnicities that has a positive impact on the country's culture. There are two main aspects of what people should be doing if they want to appreciate cultures. Firstly, intention matters a lot, so people need to learn information and understand the unique aspects of the tradition and cultures they are referencing. There are many websites that can be used to learn about culture. There are sources online, or cultures can be even learned from a person from the culture itself. The fine line. Now, let's discuss the fine line between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation. The line is extremely thin and hazy, and is a topic of issue when discussing this issue. Let me remind you once again. Cultural appropriation occurs when members of one social or ethnic group adopt practices, customs, or aesthetics from another group without proper acknowledgement or understanding. It often happens when a dominant community borrows elements from a marginalized culture. Examples of cultural appropriation include pop culture. We see instances like people wearing Native American headdresses as fashion statements, which disrespect their sacred significance. Using traditional symbols, patterns, or clothing out of context can perpetuate stereotypes and diminish the culture. Whereas, cultural appreciation is about understanding, respecting, and learning about another culture. It involves a genuine interest in and respect for another culture's practices, traditions, and values. It's about acknowledging the contributions of another culture and valuing diversity. Cultural appropriation in a global perspective. Power dynamics. Cultural appropriation often involves a dominant culture taking from a marginalized or oppressed culture. This can reinforce stereotypes and contribute to systematic inequality. Loss of cultural identity. When elements of a culture are taken out of context, it can lead to a loss of meaning and significance of these cultural practices for the people to whom they belong. Economic exploitation. Often, cultural elements are used for profit by people who have no connection or understanding of the culture they are taking from. This can lead to economic exploitation, where the dominant culture profits from the cultural elements of the marginalized culture without any compensation. Misrepresentation and stereotyping. Cultural appropriation can lead to misrepresentation and stereotyping of cultures. This can further lead to discrimination and racism. Harm to individuals and communities. Cultural appropriation can cause harm to individuals and communities by trivializing violent historical oppression, by tearing communities apart, and by perpetuating racial and ethnic disparities. Cultural appreciation in a global perspective. Understanding interconnectedness. A global perspective recognizes that we live in an interconnected world. Global appreciation is about valuing this interconnectedness by respecting and learning about different cultures. Promoting diversity. A global perspective values diversity and sees it as a strength. Global appreciation is about acknowledging and valuing this diversity. Addressing global challenges. A global perspective understands that the challenges we face today are global in nature and require a collective response. Global appreciation, by promoting understanding and respecting among different cultures, can help in fostering this collective response. Fostering global citizenship. A global perspective promotes the idea of global citizenship, which is about understanding our responsibilities towards the global community. Global appreciation, by promoting respect and understanding of different cultures, contributes to this idea of global citizenship. Independent research. To further validate our research, we conducted a survey among a diverse group of 50 participants from different cultures in this issue. The results show that, while mixed, a majority of cultures still view cultural appropriation in a negative light, and also further highlighted and reinforced our research by defining cultural appropriation and various other topics on this issue. Forging a path ahead. Understanding the gravity of cultural appropriation and appreciation is crucial. Appreciation involves engaging with a culture in a respectful and informed manner, often with guidance of those within the culture itself. It's about dialogue, learning, and mutual respect. This is not just about avoiding offense, but about fostering an environment where all cultures can thrive and be celebrated for their unique contribution to our shared human experience. So, what can be done to improve this delicate balance between appreciation and appropriation? Well, education plays a pivotal role. Schools and institutions need to incorporate comprehensive cultural education that goes beyond superficial stereotypes. Additionally, supporting artists, creators, and communities from the cultures being represented ensures that the narratives are authentic and respectful. Celebrities and industries like the media and fashion industries also have a responsibility to conduct due diligence before incorporating cultural elements into their work, potentially working in partnerships with cultural representatives. Social media campaigns and platforms can further raise awareness, creating space for dialogue and understanding. In conclusion, as we navigate the complexities of cultural appreciation versus cultural appropriation, let us strive for a world where every culture is respected and celebrated. Through awareness, education, and dialogue, we can honor the diversity that makes humanity so beautifully unique. Let's cherish each culture's legacy as a collective human heritage, fostering an environment of understanding and appreciation that transcends borders and generations. Thank you for joining us on this journey of understanding and respect. Remember, in the beautiful mosaic of human culture, each piece is invaluable. It's up to us to appreciate and not appropriate.